go running midday. Had this grand plan of going and running this loop here by my house, and it's a good time. I mean, it's a long loop. It's about 6.5 miles from back and forth, basically. And I took my dog with me, Pam, and one, I'm not going to blame her for all of it, because this was certainly, it's pretty warm out, and I'm not sure that I could have done the whole thing even if I didn't have her to worry about. But, you know, we got going up the first rise, and it's, you know, it's starting to burn my lungs a little bit, burn my thighs a little bit, but got to the kind of the first plateau where it levels off a little bit and just kind of rolls. I was doing pretty good, and I was just thanking God for the ability to come seek Him like this, and the opportunity to suffer in pursuit of Him. And I think it's important to do that every once in a while. I don't know that it's a necessary thing, but it's something that certainly helps. Helps my heart to feel closer to His. And you know, so I was kind of already on the topic of suffering with Him. And as you can hear, my dog is, you know, she's breathing pretty hard. We were probably only about, I think it was like 1.2 miles in, so not even a third of the way or anything. Maybe, not even a third of the way. It was more like a sixth of the way. And she's starting to struggle pretty hard. And I'm wanting to kind of push forward, push through, and keep moving. But she winds up stopping and hanging out in the shade for a second. So I give her a little bit of water. She's still not really, the breathing still isn't calming down. And God hit me with a little mini lesson of, though there are going to be times to suffer with Him and in pursuit of Him and in service of His kingdom. There's going to be times when, if we're not careful, if we're not vigilant, we may start to think that suffering means more than it does, that it does more, it's a form of works that gets us somewhere, right? In our salvation. We may take pride in our ability to suffer with Christ, and want to prove that we can suffer with Christ. The problem is that we're not the only people in the equation. Even if you're a single guy, you still have people in your life that care about you and that may be drug into your suffering. And you may be leading them through a suffering that they're not ready for. So in that case, our own prideful nature, what we consider to be something that brings us closer to God may cost somebody else. It may drive them further away from God if they're not ready for that type of suffering. So, it's very important to recognize when your pursuit of God, it's not necessarily that your pursuit of God is a stumbling block for somebody else. It's the way in which you want to serve God. It's your idea of how you serve God rather than following His will that could become a stumbling block to somebody else. And as men, we tend to forget that. We tend to think that it's our job to sacrifice, our job to suffer. And in certain cases, we can sacrifice and we can suffer in a way that helps to protect others from it. But if we're not careful, we can do it in ways that bring people along for the ride, but they're not ready for it. Anyway, so it was just a little lesson that God hit me with, and now I'm on my way. I turned around after that, got back in the truck. Now we're headed back home so that Pam can have a rest and get a real solid drink of wine. And anyways, I hope all of you guys are having a great day, a blessed day, and catch up with you.